Okay, if this is a piece that I want right here, and I'll demonstrate beveling out. Here I will be beveling in. So this is my piece. I'm going to start out beveling in. So my pattern piece would show the outside edge. Beveling in means I'm going to kick the blade in, and I'll end up with an angle cut. I'm going to transition to perpendicular, and then I'll move to beveling out. So beveled in so far, okay. Now I'm square. Now I'm going to kick it out and bevel it out. And you'll see. So this is our piece, beveled in. As my pattern line was here, I dove behind that line and beveled in, moved it to like flush or perpendicular, and I kicked it out here. So this is beveling out. And now I'll do the same on the other piece, but opposite. So I'll end up with both a ridge and a recess. So I'm going to do a mirror image of this. Start by beveling in. This piece in the middle is just my waste scrap piece. In to perpendicular. To beveled out. So here's my second piece, again beveled in, transitioning to perpendicular to beveled out. I'm going to join the two pieces together, and you'll see what happens. One will create a peak like that. By the time it gets to the beveled out, it'll create a valley here. So now we're going to glue it. Okay, trash can. Keeping in mind my top and bottom surface, I'm going to spray Yep. Okay. There you go. Okay. Hit that with some hair dryer.
Before you move forward, quick question from Sarah.
Yes.
If you accidentally leave the glue on too long and it dries, can you respray it?
Yes, you can. You can wake it up with another pass. The solvents that are in the glue will basically just wake up the dry glue. So that's something that you can actually do on purpose. You can kind of exploit that if you like. I've done it with barge lots of times, where I might want to pre-glue something so that the glue is there and ready for me. I might even go as far as to powder it and just not killing it, but just kind of putting it to sleep for a while, allowing me to work with it or put it in position, then go back with a fresh layer. It's kind of breaking the rules a little bit because you want to do tacky to tacky or whatever, but if you've got dry and then you go ahead and add some wet to it, it gets you back to that happy spot, and then you just go ahead and stick it together. So yeah, that works fine. What's going to happen when I stick them together? So basically, I like to look down my seam as I'm gluing it. That's just how I do it. There's no real wrong or right. Okay, now I'm reaching the point where it's kind of perpendicular, and now it's turning to the bevel out. I'm going to squeeze that together. So It's weird. It's so you can kind of you can choose where that happens in your sculptures, in your fabrication. So this is something that happens in here, in my mask. It happens. You can do this intentionally. You can do it freehand. You can once you know that that's what causes that to happen. You can choose where you want it to happen. Let's see the underside. Yeah, this is where all the back spray happened. Didn't care that that was happening as long as I kept the top side nice and clean.